Hello YouTube and welcome to my video talking about the PlayStation 2 i.Link. Now, system linking between consoles and computers is not a new thing. It's been going on since the Atari and ST era in the 80s. The PlayStation 1 and Saturn had some link games, the Dreamcast did a couple, the original Xbox has quite a lot of system link games, and even the newer consoles, the 360, the PS3 and also the recent ones, the Xbox One and the PlayStation 4 probably have some sort of system link as well. So today we're going to talk about the PlayStation 2 i.Link. You need two fat PlayStation 2 consoles. I can't emphasize enough, two fat consoles. In the PAL territory, the reference number for the ones that have the i.Link feature, the reference number is SCPH39003. That's SCPH-39003. You also, of course, need two power cords, two televisions. Older consoles like the PS2 are a lot better on CRT televisions. So I use SCART cables. The RGB cable would give them a nice sharp picture. The particular ones that I use, because I play the light gun games, the G-Con games there, I have the ones with the composite input on the back for the G-Cons. There's one there, and there's also one there as well. Now, on the fat models, you see you have a firewire socket here, connected by a firewire cable. Firewire cables are very, very cheap now. It's more or less an obsolete connector, so no problems in picking these up at all. I picked this one up probably about £1, £2. It's very, very easy to pick up. Probably noticing there are a lot of cables. Sadly, for technology of this era, very few things are wireless, and wired stuff does work a bit better, in my opinion. But yes, you get cables everywhere, which is a bit of annoyance. But there we go. Of course, you do need two copies of each game, which I'll come to in a moment. So you can see two copies of Time Crisis 2 there. And we've got Time Crisis 2 sort of up on the TVs at the moment. We're just about to go into link mode on that, which I'll do sort of towards the end of this video. So let's talk about now the games. Now, unlike the Xbox, the original Xbox, where you can sort of install hard drives and copy the games across to play System Link that way, because there's so few games for the i.Link on the PS2, it was taken out when the slimline models came around, so it's only a sort of a feature really in its early days. There's only a few games, so I decided just to buy both copies, makes things easier rather than shelling out for hard drives you can install in these by soft modding. It's much easier to do it this method, and probably cheaper as well in the long run. And it keeps things official, so Sony's happy. Okay. So Time Crisis 2 has an i.Link function, as you can see there. Yep, just about to go into i.Link on that. Other games as well, we've got Time Crisis 3. Same type of thing as, of course, Time Crisis 2. Really emulating what you can see in the arcade with those famous cabinets, the dual cabinets. Armored Core 2. Now, on Wikipedia, it does say that the majority of the Armored Core games are i.Link compatible. I have to say that in the PAL territory, some of the other i.Link Armored Core games I have, they don't seem to have i.Link functions. So they may have been taken out on the PAL release. But I know this particular one, Armored Core 2, that's plain Armored Core 2, not the pseudo-sequels that are around. This one is definitely i.Link compatible. Bought both of these copies for 50p, so that's a great little bargain there. Silent Scope 2, Fatal Judgment, similar to the arcade where you had the dual sort of sniper rifle cabinet set up. You could sort of have a dual mode on that, and I think that's what that one does as well. There is a sort of system link there too. Probably not the best game to play unless you have the actual, because it really does need the sniper rifles you get in the arcade. The ones that you can get on console are nowhere near as good, and I would expect them to be, because the arcade cabinets cost thousands of pounds to get that set up, so can't expect that at home. But good game nevertheless, and always good for a laugh there. Silent Scope 2. Okay, just going to not take those two out of the way. Tokyo Road Race. I think this is actually Battle Gear 2 in Japan. I think this is only released in PAL territories. And this one definitely has an i.Link feature, so that's always good. And that will be great fun to do. And of course, Gran Turismo 3 A-Spec. There's no i.Link feature in Gran Turismo 4, although there is an online capability on that if you can tunnel your software. Yeah, you can do quite a few players on that if you have sort of more than two consoles together, so that's a That's always a good one to do if you have lucky enough to have an i.Link feature, of course. Two other games I'll bring in as well. Gran Turismo Concept. I do actually have 2 discs there. You've got 1 disc there and 1 disc there. I just picked that up as loosely in cash converted for 50p. And of course the other copy there that came with the box. So that's another little game there. Not really mentioned on Wikipedia, this one, the Gran Turismo Concept, but similar thing to Gran Turismo 3. Okay, the final game, Age of Empires 2. I don't have a second copy of that, I'm just still waiting for that. Not sure that's the best game to demonstrate i.Link. That's probably more suited to PCs. I've got my TVs next to each other, and I think you probably need to hide things from your opponent when you're playing against them, because they'll just be sitting right next to you and see exactly what you're doing. So, unless there's a cooperative mode of play on that, I'm not sure that would be the best demonstration. But it's i.Link compatible anyway, so I have to mention it in this video. Okay, YouTube, so let's just give a quick demonstration of the i.Link games in action. Time Crisis 2 here, you go into the arcade menu on both screens, and it brings up the link option. You go into that. If all goes well, it should all be working fine. So I'm going to do the 1 stage trial quickly. We'll both do stage 1 on those. It's just not really a gameplay demonstration. It's just really to show you sort of how the i.Link works, and it works very well. So of course it's going to be nothing like the arcade with the pedals, so I have to use the buttons on the G-Con instead. And you can just see that everything is working in tandem at the moment. So let's just move on from there. As you can see, working fine. And on this side, also working fine. Good. So here we go. Let's pop in. The problem with this is it isn't 50 Hz. I know it's been optimised, but the graphics don't look as good in this particular resolution. That's just my opinion. Okay, now we're going to be looking at Silent Scope 2 Fatal Judgment. Now this, as I mentioned before, isn't really the best example of i.Link. Big thing I've just found out is that the light guns do not work with this game. It's only controller or mouse compatible. Luckily I have a USB mouse, just pulled off my computer, so that works. So I demonstrate that, but I mentioned in the previous part that you could buy those sort of replica sniper rifles. Not as good as the arcade experience, of course, but better than nothing. They don't work on this particular version of the game. They work on the Xbox Silent Scope Complete, but not on this one. But I'm just going to demonstrate sort of the i.Link feature and how it works anyway. So using the controllers, you can say it's linked play available, you can see there. Popping on the controllers on both of those. Go into the menu and link play on both of those. You have to change one side to player 1 and player 2 manually for some reason. I don't know why Konami did that, but they did. So I'm going to pop into Duel in the City. Same on this side as well. We'll do Duel in the City here, link play. And you can see everything is in sync, so it works, but I've already got the mouse on this side, so I'll just give you a quick example. So what this is like the arcade, you've got the both people on either side. I think the arcade cabinets would normally be back to back. Side by side isn't so good, but I can't get back to back. So you can see slow and clunky with the pad. You know, it's just the way the game's been designed. The light guns don't work, which isn't very good at all. On this side, you can see it's much easier with the mouse moving around very quickly there. So what I need to do is I need to find my opponent. He's sort of down there somewhere. Is that in there? There he is. Oh, yeah. And just shoot the git there in the head. Bang. So, I don't want to spend too much time on that, just to show that the i.Link works, win-lose, syncing's all fine. So that's the end of that. Okay, this is now Tokyo Road Race for the PS2. What an absolute palaver this has turned out to be. You have to have 2 memory cards for the i.Link to work. You then have to go into the options menu to activate it and then reset the game. No idea why they programmed it there, but there we are. One good thing about it does have a 60 Hz mode, so it's always good to play full screen, and the right speed of course. So to get into i.Link, arcade, time attack, that'll do. all goes well, we will now be connected. Wishful thinking. Alright, look, we've got 2 cars there. So. Haven't configured the buttons on this, so I'm going to be all over the place. No idea why to get the i.Link had to be so i.Link option had to be so convoluted, but I'm not the programmer, so there we are. Whack into the back of my other car there. Bang. Armored Core 2 for the i.Link. So, again, controllers. It's a sort of mech game. I don't know really anything about this game at all, so bear with me. They're just really demonstrating how the i.Link function works. So, there we go. There's the other player here. See me just walking around in there. Okay, so that's just a quick, sort of rather boring demonstration, but just a quick demonstration to show the i.Link function on Armored Core 2. Okay, so the final game I'll show you is going to be Gran Turismo Concept 2002. Not listed on Wiki for some reason, but it's definitely i.Link compatible because you've got the i.Link option there. So, yeah, I'm just going to pop into that. Competition, yeah, we'll both do competition with both of those. So you can do quite a few players. If you have more than 2 or 3 consoles, then you can link together. Put that in a hell of a lot of TVs. Okay, so we'll both do the Tahiti maze. Okay, let's give it a go. Again, I think everything's going to be syncing up together. Yeah, there you go. Both the cars are there. Seems to... yeah, you can see they both linked up very nicely there. Whack into my opponent there. Oh, right. Okay, so that's all the games I'll show you today for i.Link. Time Crisis free, Gran Turismo free, all the ones work the same. Age of Kings, I don't have another copy of that yet, and I think that would just be very boring, you wouldn't be able to see what's going on. i.Link is really more suited for action. Bye bye.